Alright guys, this is Jet coming to you from Austin, Texas, United States on release day of Pro Evolution Soccer 2012 and FIFA 2012. Here we go. Game is in there. Picked it up this morning and I played about 10 matches, all on professional, all on exhibition mode, and all on various teams of various levels of quality and lack of quality, if you will. It's going to be brief. This is day one. First of all, it feels weird to get Pro Evolution Soccer. The first day is FIFA. It also feels very strange to receive both titles before this early in the season, so to speak, and also receive both titles before Europe and a great deal of the WNB viewing audience. But I'm pleasantly surprised. So, what are my first day one experiences? What are my day one impressions? I will not answer questions about face scans, nets, boots, or balls, because frankly, I don't care, or which stadiums are in the game or any of that. It doesn't matter to me. I just want to play football. That's all I want. A good game. On the attack side of things, it's awesome. When you have the ball, your teammates are sometimes running into space forward, someone's running diagonal, sometimes floating backwards. Feels real. And it's challenging. The defense, the AI defense, is tough to break down. I will say that it's hard to catch them on the counterattack. A little too hard. I don't think I've had one clean, what we'd call a breakaway, yet, but I've given up plenty. But hopefully that's not like an AI thing. That's just me not being that good at Pro Evo 2012 yet. My only complaint on the attack side of things on day one, and I reserve my right to change my opinion at a later date, is the ball, when you pass it around the floor, the physics are good, it feels real, but the power bar doesn't really seem to have any kind of effect. It doesn't really matter if I'm push it halfway up or the power bar all the way up. The ball kind of gets there when the ball gets there. So that's a little bit of a concern, but it's not a game breaker. Usually the guy you're passing to will run onto it, especially if there's a defender nearby. The ball's in the air, crosses, so forth, feel pretty good. Ball physics looks good. Shooting feels fine to me. Maybe a little too accurate. They could dial that down just a little bit. But all in all, very, very fluid and balanced on the attacking side of things. And interesting enough, there is a good variety of play between teams. It feels unique. Each game feels unique. Each team feels unique. And like when you go in and kind of tweak with the setup and the formation and et cetera, you can see differences in the attack mindedness of your offense. So yeah, feels good. Shooting, they could dial down the accuracy just a little bit. Passing, they could maybe dial the accuracy down a little bit and make a little more use of the passing bar, the power bar, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so let's get on to defense. This is where I'm concerned. And again, this is day one. This could all be chalked up as I'm not very good yet on professional setting. And this year's professional setting feels like previous year's top players. It's not easy. Keepers, they're not going to break the game, but they're horrible. They're palming away at least half of the shots on goal. They're palming them out of bounds. They're not palming them back into the box. I think I've only had that happen once, and it was actually to my benefit. But they're palming away way too many balls out of bounds, setting up corners. As far as corners, speaking of, the AI is way too deadly accurate on their corners and on their crosses into the box. I mean, they haven't had one not find the head of one of their players yet. Again, some of that will get better as I get better on defense, and some of that will, but to me it doesn't feel like something that's happening because I'm not very good at defense. It feels like something that's happening because that value, that equation on AI's crossing into the box is just too jacked up. So they need to dial that down. Some of these things will get better as I get better. The only real concern I have, as far as the longevity of this game on day one, is the score lines have been ridiculous. I mean, we're talking, I'm probably averaging 2 goals a game, over 10 games, maybe like 2.5, and I'm giving up probably 3. I mean, I've had several 4-3 shootouts. I mean, every game feels like a shootout. And it's interesting because like there was a game I just played before I decided to do this video blog entry where it was 0-0 up until the 75th minute, and I think I was playing Bayern. I was Bayern Leverkusen versus Olympiacos, just because I wanted 2 kind of medium level strength teams. 0-0 to the 75th minute. I scored a goal with Ballack, right? And they immediately came down. I mean, like, it was 0-0 the entire match. And then in the span of 5 minutes, the score elevated to 3-2. And I lost. Well, I don't care about that. But it just seemed, if I had just had one game like that, I'd been like, wow, that was fresh, that was interesting. But every game seems to be like that. Like, the goals are scored in bunches by both teams, and the score lines are too high. I mean, I want a game where a 0-0 grinder is not that unusual, or a 1-1 grinder is not that unusual, or you get a goal and then you can set back and defend, and you know, a 1-0 victory or even a defeat, whatever. So it seems to me like the scorelines are a little too, we call it fast break basketball, fast break football, a little too high on day one. It could be that I need to get better, and I'll accept that. I'm going to update you guys in a week and then in a month and let you know where I stand. But yeah, that is the major concern of the day, and it may not be a concern at all. It may be just because I'm not very good, but I am scoring a lot of goals. So it feels like it's a systemic thing. Like, that's just how the game is. And that's probably something they could dull down a little bit with a little less accuracy on the power value or on the passing values, dumbing down the shooting values a little bit, and also dumbing down the AI's crossing and corners, set pieces values. But they can't do anything about the goalkeepers. That's just the way it's going to be until next year. Now, because we've complained about goalkeepers every year and they've never patched them, to my knowledge. So yeah, I mean, I'm happy. It's cool. It's good. I'm gonna try FIFA. I'm gonna pick it up tonight and try FIFA, and I'll get back with you guys on FIFA as well. But other than the score lines being a little blown up, it's a good game. Good game. Not great yet. Not horrible yet. I'm really undecided. The jury's still very much out. I was pleasantly surprised about a lot of things, and I'm slightly disappointed about some things as well. But those things that I'm disappointed in might just come down to user, and that being me. I'm not afraid to say it. This game plays a lot different than previous PES games. So that's where we're at. You know, it takes me back to Winning 11-9, the one with John Terry on the box art. That game always felt way too fast to me. But it was hard to score. And your defense was very good, even if you weren't very good. The man you controlled. So you played a season, you get a lot of 0-0s, 1-0s, 2-1s, you know, small scores, realistic scores. This doesn't feel quite like that on the scoreline thing. But I think this can probably get better as I get better, slightly. And one more thing, the tactics. Like, at one point I was like, you know what? I'm tired of giving up goals. I'm like a sponge here. I'm just leaking water everywhere. So I went in and put, I don't know what team, it may have been Liverpool, put them in like a 5-4-1 or something like that, 5-4-1, where I had 3 center backs, 2 backers, left back, right back, defensive holding midfielder, etc., etc. And I'm still giving up like 2 goals in the last 10 minutes of a match, and having my defense set all the way back to where we were a defensive-minded team. So the tactics on defense don't seem to be as effective as they are on the attack, the tactics. So we'll see. A lot of this is just me talking, but I thought, well, I got it a few days before you all, so I'll let you know what I think. And a lot of this experience will change as I experiment more with this for the next 7 days. I will say, in regards to FIFA, playing it on, I think it was professional or maybe world class on the demo, the game played a lot better than I had expected it to. But again, it's just a demo, and demos are liars. Yes, they are. They are liars. So I'll hit you guys back tomorrow or Thursday with my FIFA experience. Later, guys. Peace.